House. American small businesses would also see relief if the bill does pass, including the reshoring of American manufacturing, ending the war on the gig economy, and no tax on tips or overtime. Joining me now is Texas Congressman Roger Williams. He's the chairman of the House Small Business Committee. Mr. Chairman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What are your thoughts on this bill? Not sure if you saw my conversation with Mike Lawler, but he's digging in.
Well, he is. I'll tell you, I voted for the bill to get out of the House, and I'm interested to see what the Senate comes with. I think it's important we deliver on our promises. I mean, in my district, people want tax cuts. They want less regulations. They want 100% expensing. They want a military increase in pay. They want a strong border. That's what our bill out of the House delivers. I want to see what the Senate comes with. But I'm willing to look at it. I mean, there's no bill that's perfect. I'm in the car business. And in the car business where there's no perfect deal, we hit people high, they hit us low, we settle in the middle, and we move on. And so I want to see what there is to look at. But I'm going to find a way to support this thing and be behind President Trump, because that's what we promised. And 75 million people responded. That's what they wanted.
And do you think that's generally the feeling within the House? Because, you know, I spoke with Warren Davidson yesterday, and he was one of 2 no votes. And he, too, felt adamant about certain things in the bill, and in particular debt and deficits. But at the end of the day, do you feel that your colleagues will say, look, we're not going to go against President Trump and we're going to get this thing passed?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's not only going against President Trump, it's going against 75 million people that voted for him.
Good point.
And so I think we ought to make a deal. I mean, look, nobody understands interest payments more than I do. But right now the time is such that we have to put cash flow back in America. Main Street's ready to go. We got to create jobs, and that's what we said we would do. So we need to deliver on that.
Yeah, I mean, there are 3 bills from the House Small Business Committee that's passed last week. The legislation will codify executive actions taken by President Trump and the Small Business Administration. Tell us about those bills and significant who's impacted most significantly.
Well, the first thing, one of the bills we're putting out is the fact that it's new concept here, but if you're an illegal, you can't do business with the SBA. You can't borrow money from the SBA. I mean, that should be something that's understood. But we passed a bill there to help President Trump codify his presidential orders. And then, you know, we've got the bill too that says if you're a sanctuary city, you can't have an SBA office in there. I mean, why should we having people that are breaking the law, helping people that want to abide by the law and start a business? So we're moving SBA offices out of sanctuary cities, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the president's border crackdown was exactly what people voted for, and of course they're down 93% in terms of encounters at the border. But right. Is the president tweaking his message here by saying, look, there are certain areas of this this ruling that will be exempt?
Well, I mean, we need to get this thing passed, and I mean, exemptions. I mean, it gets back to no deal is perfect. If you have to do something it takes to get the whole done, you have to do a part to get the whole. That's what we do on Main Street. That's what we do in business.
Yeah. Now, what I was talking about the exemptions to the border crackdown, because the president, and this is really indicative of the president being practical, knowing that there are certain areas of the economy where they could actually lose people who are working honest jobs, and the president said that he's focused on criminality first and taking out the dangerous criminals in the country, and maybe easing off people who are working on farms or hotels.
Well, there's a lot of good people that have been hurt by this onrush of illegals. There's no question about that, and in fact, I think we need to go after the bad guys. Those people who want to work here legally, that have forever, like you said, seasonal workers and so forth, they ought to be exempt. Let them come back and do what they've done, add to the productivity of our country. But if you're going to tear our country up and come here through illegal matters, then we don't need you. We don't want you.
Yeah. Let me turn over to the conflict in the Middle East, the war on Iran, entering day 6. Iran's supreme leader now is fighting back, posting things, and local news there is reporting that he will not back down, and he's warning of severe consequences coming for Israel, as well as saying that they will respond to the United States. Iran's Khomeini, referring to Trump's threats, says those who know Iran's history know that Iran Iranians do not answer well to language of threat. The supreme leader says they should know that Iran will not surrender and any U.S. strike will have serious, irreparable consequences. After another 50 IDF fighter jets struck Iranian targets overnight, Congressman, as the U.S. closes the embassy in Jerusalem this past week, President Trump is demanding unconditional surrender from Iran and is reportedly considering U.S. military involvement should things escalate further. And yet you've got colleagues in the House right now and in the Senate, like Tim Kaine, who are trying to limit President Trump's powers and decision-making at the time of war.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I would say to Senator Kaine, whose side are you on, for crying out loud? I mean, death to Israel, death to America. What more do we need to hear? And I think President Trump is right. He's got us to a point where these guys need to take a hard look at themselves and surrender. If they don't surrender, it may be that we have to end it. We've got the best friend we got in Israel. They're doing a fantastic job. They're controlling the airspace now. So we just need to see. But look, it's biblical, okay? I'm one of those. It's biblical. We support Israel. Israel is our friend. We need to be with them. And with Senator Kaine, I just would want to know what side he is really on.
Mm-hmm. So how significant is that? I mean, would he be able to push that through, that he's trying to limit President Trump's powers right now? And why do that right now in the middle of this conflict?
Well, I think because he's President Trump and the other side just is eat up with him and doesn't want him to succeed and put that ahead of what we need to do in the world and literally maybe save the world. So it just gets down to, if you're with us, you're with us. If you're not, you're not. Israel's our friend. We're committed to Israel. I personally am committed to Israel, supporting what President Trump's doing. We need to end this thing sooner than later, and we're the ones that can do it.
Well, you've got images of handcuffed Democrats now piling up, right? I mean, you had Padilla, your colleague, first get arrested and get handcuffed, and then the second one just yesterday. I mean, is this the new way to move for the Democrats to try to take down President Trump with no solutions? They want to act as if ICE is just arresting everyone, including elected officials.
It's weird, actually. I mean, that they go and I don't know what they think, that America is going to side with them for basically breaking the law and saying things that are not American-like. So I don't know. I can't read their head. But the fact of the matter is, if that's the best they got to offer, then fine. But we got to move on, and we've got to protect our people. We got to defend Israel. We got to create an economy that's good for Main Street. We got to cut taxes. We got to cut regulations. We got to get on with it. And again, I go back to 75 million people voted for this. They didn't vote to see people get arrested and get themselves just purely act stupid. But if that's what they're going to do, that's fine. And then they seem to be talking. They're using curse words. They're trying to get the men's vote from that.
Right.
I mean, it's nuts. But the fact of the matter is, we got a job to do in America, and that's save our country, save Israel, and save the world.
All right, Congressman, good to see you this morning. We'll keep watching your work. Roger Williams joining us in Texas.